day one. My first full day in hospital after rib graft surgery, very painful and sore, especially like when I'm moving around and that. I first realised this when I went to get out of bed to go to the toilet and found it really painful to move and to get out of bed, that I ended up having to have help from my mum and one of the nurses. Once I was out of bed, it wasn't actually too bad, but it's just a bit of pain taking like loads of drips and things that I've wired up to with me and trying to make sure I wasn't pulling on any of the tubes or wires or anything like as I was moving. But moving alone, to be honest, was quite painful, to say the least, let alone actually trying to sit on the toilet. I ended up pulling the drip while like one of the drips I was wheeling along, and obviously that hurt quite a bit, and well, to be honest, that actually scared me. I hate to admit this, but there's actually no point in me making these videos if I'm not going to be truthful and honest, and that's something I really want to do in these videos, is to be truthful, be honest, and just completely open up to you guys, because I think, how am I supposed to help people if I can't be honest? So yeah, it did put me off wanting to go to the toilet, like in case I end up pulling my wires again, like as I sat down on the toilet seat sort of thing, because obviously when I was in bed it didn't bother me, as obviously I didn't really notice I was attached to it, and like due to the height of the drip in the bed, and when you're in bed you're there, the drip's there, and you're not really pulling, because everything's sort of level and that, but I suppose whether it's quite a height difference and, like I say, a bed to a toilet seat, that's why it pulled. Anyway, my mum and one of the nurses tried so hard, bless them, to get me, to convince me I wouldn't pull at the wire again, but I wasn't having any of it, so obviously busting for the loo by this point and not willing to go, I would have put in the wire. So yeah, we had to come up with another method, which was to use a commode, which was the nearest thing to a toilet I would actually use. As embarrassing as it is now to say that, but it's the truth. I wish I could have talked myself into using the toilet, but I didn't. And hey, I was comfortable, which at the time that's all that mattered to me, was that I was comfortable. I was also on a lot of pain medication due to the amount of pain I was in with my ribs, due to having cartilage removed for the operation to build my new ear. Weirdly though, I actually had no pain or discomfort with my ear though, which I was actually quite surprised about, as I thought I would have. And that my ear, and I thought that my ear would have been at least a little bit painful or sore or something, but that's just nothing. So I'm wondering whether the pain in my ribs rode out any discomfort in my ear. First night in hospital, I don't think I actually got any sleep. If I did, it definitely wasn't a lot, due to all the machines I've wired up to, and they just kept bleeping and going off every couple of minutes for no reason. Even the nurses couldn't work out why. They just, they just liked me, I suppose. But yeah, and that kept waking me and my mum up, even when we dozed off. If that wasn't happening, we had nurses coming in needing to check on me or to give me more pain medication, which I was on a lot of pain medication at this point, and I had nurses coming in every couple of hours, I think it's about every 2 or 3 hours. So yeah, I didn't really get a lot of sleep. Before bed, me and my mum rang home to update my dad on my first full day in hospital, because he is at home with my little sister, because obviously, my little sister had school the next day, and obviously she couldn't, stay with us. And we did it so we could keep communication, which helped me. Although I did get quite emotional once we'd finished the phone call with him. It did make me miss home a bit, although I knew I was in the best place possible and doing what I needed to do. However, I did love the fact that Again are looking after me for my first full day in hospital. So yeah, that made things a lot better for me, seeing as someone I knew and someone so lovely as Again looking after me. I'm not saying the other nurses aren't, but yeah.